What's up, Tigers fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Old English Debrief. It's Saturday, February 28th, 2026, and if you're looking for a reason to be excited about the future of our franchise, today's box score is basically a love letter to that farm system. We're going to be looking at a massive 12-3 win over the Tampa Bay Rays with some elite prospect buzz and a look at some national headlines. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Today the Tigers absolutely dismantled the Rays 12-3. That's back-to-back games with double-digit runs for our Tigers. And just like I did not overreact to the team's struggling bats earlier in the spring, I'm not going to overreact to these two games either. It's exactly what spring training's for: is getting hot, seeing where you're at, making adjustments, all that good stuff. As far as the game today goes, though, we did out-hit them 17-10, and the win probability graph was just a steady climb to the moon after that third inning. On the mound today, Drew Anderson set the tone early with 3 innings of shutout ball, racking up 3 Ks on 51 pitches. He was the win probability added leader at plus 14.8 for a reason. He completely neutralized the top of the Rays order. And on the flip side, we saw a total meltdown from Tampa's Luis Guerrero, who gave up 6 runs in just a third of an inning. So, not a very strong start there. As far as the bats go, Corey Julks was a monster, driving in 4 runs, including a homer. But the story of the day are the young guns. When you see names like Kevin McGonigle and Lorenzo and Vierling, all multi-hitting, you know the depth is real. I guess I don't know that I would consider Vierling a young gun, but you know what I mean. And as far as the Rays go, a little bit more, even in a loss, the Rays' Brock Jones turned heads with a 110-mile-per-hour rocket, but our guys were right there. Tehran Lorenzo clocked a 107.9 mile per hour single, and Nat Vierling with a 106.4 mile per hour single. We're not just getting hits, we are punishing the baseball, which is important. We want to see these guys get strong hits. We want to see in the spring, we're not just up there going through the motions, but rather we are up there and taking meaningful at bats. And as of late, Kevin McGonigle has been making a strong case for himself. This kid had 2 hits in a single inning, and that's the kind of bat-to-ball skill that makes a scout drool. He finished that day with a 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored and a 1,300 OPS. He's making a very loud case for himself this spring. Speaking of stars, if you check out Jason Beck's latest newsletter, it highlights what everyone's been feeling and what everybody's been wondering since the beginning of spring, and that's talking about Riley Greene in 2026. He looks stronger, more poised than ever. The focus this year is on his barrel rate and health. If Riley stays on the field, we're not just talking about an all-star. We're talking about possible MVP caliber cornerstone player reaching the next elite tier. As far as McGonigle goes, he's had a very good spring. We're just a week's worth of games in about, but overall he is doing good in terms of making a name for himself, and it's going to be hard for the team to say, we know you've done really good, but you're not going to come up for the beginning of the season. I think if he continues on the path that he is currently going down, you're going to see him join the team sooner rather than later. And really, I think he should. Like I've said many times, I want to see the best players play. And right now, Kevin McGonigle is looking like one of our best players. And, it's nice to see back-to-back big wins from the Tigers, but it's spring training, so it is what it is. Our bench depth showed up today with Jace Jung's performance. And it makes this 2026 squad feel a little bit different than the years past. Our younger players are kind of pushing up, and I want to see that continue. as the spring goes on, there's just a sheer uh, large amount of 100 plus mile per hour exit velos, and that needs to continue. We want to hit the ball hard, and we want to hit them where they're not. As far as MLB news goes today, taking a look around the rest of the league, things are moving fast as we inch closer to opening day. Our AL Central rivals, the Royals, have just made a big veteran splash, signing Starling Marte to a major league deal. Marte, who hit 270 for the Mets last year, is an active MLB stolen base leader with 361, and even at 37, he brings a clubhouse leadership that the Rays will definitely benefit from. His former teammate Juan Soto recently called him the real deal leader. He likely slots into a Royals outfield alongside Lane Thomas and Jacques Caglione. We'll have to keep him off the base paths this season for sure, even at his advanced age. I say, as also being a fellow 37-year-old. Cease in Toronto. The Blue Jays' massive off-season prize, can't speak today, Dylan Cease, finally made his spring debut today against the Phillies. He signed a monster 7-year, $210 million deal in the winter, and Toronto's banking on him to land a rotation, or lead a rotation rather, that already includes Gosman and Scherzer. Seeing him in that Blue Jays jersey is a reminder of how tough the American League is going to be this year. And in his opener, he touched 98 miles per hour. So he's mid-season form in his first start, which is a good sign for the Blue Jays, a bad sign for the rest of the American League. And around other news, some news closer to home here. The 2026 odds are out, and it's a two-horse race for the best pitcher on the planet. The Tigers' Tarik Skubal is the favorite to win a historic third straight AL Cy Young, something we haven't seen in the American League since Pedro Martinez, and he's currently sitting at plus 300. And over in the NL, Paul Skeens is the heavy favorite at plus 225 to repeat after his dominant 1.97 ERA last year. The Pirates are making some noise with their prospects. They might have a teenage big leaguer coming up to support the monster arm of Skeens. And in the NL West, the Dodgers are facing some early rotation stress. Blake Snell is dealing with a left shoulder discomfort and has been limited to flat ground throwing. Manager Dave Roberts has already hinted that opening day isn't a hard and fast target, so expect Snell to start the 2026 season on the injured list. I'd like to say that that's going to hurt the Dodgers, but it seems like they're like Medusa, or like the three-headed snake or whatever. You cut one head off, two more heads appear. So we'll have to see what's going on. And we'll keep an eye on that as the year goes on and as the spring goes on. And believe it or not, my friends, that is going to be it for today's show. Before we head out, I've got a question of the day for you. With Starling Marte joining the Royals, do you think Kansas City is the biggest threat to the Tigers in the AL Central this year? Or are we still looking at the Cleveland Guardians being our biggest threat? Either way, I think it's going to be a tight race for the top three. Head on over to Spotify, leave your answer to the question of the day in the comments to join in on the show. Follow us on YouTube, leave a review, do all that good stuff. Everywhere we are at, we are called the Old English Debrief, where you can catch an episode to catch up on your Tigers every day and share your thoughts too to get in on the show. And I will see you tomorrow for another episode. And until then, be kind to each other and go Tigers for life.